Yesterday, your loved one experienced a moment that felt both strange and profound. In that fleeting instant, it was as if they glimpsed a reality beyond the ordinary, stirring a gentle awareness that something far greater is at work in our lives. God's voice, subtle like a whisper, echoes through the corridors of time, reverberating across every age and generation. This divine presence offers guidance, solace, and purpose to all who are willing to pause, listen, and open their hearts. We are each called to remain attentive, for it is in the quiet spaces of our souls that we can sense God's encouragement when we feel lost, God's compassion when we feel wounded, and God's wisdom when we feel uncertain. Each day, we find ourselves grappling with the complexities of existence, searching for meaning and direction. Our contemporary lives are often filled with haste and distraction, and it can be difficult to discern the gentle urgings of the divine amidst the endless clamor around us. Yet, even when we feel most overwhelmed, even in the busiest moments, God's message remains constant. It is always present, like an ever-flowing current of love that streams quietly beneath the surface of our frantic thoughts. This voice invites us to slow down and turn our attention inward so that we may discover the truth, comfort, and encouragement that lie at the heart of every one of God's whispers. In the stillness of our souls, we become receptive to the sacred. God speaks to us through moments of reflection, prayer, meditation, and contemplative silence, offering profound insights that gently urge us to walk the path of love, compassion, and understanding. Whenever we devote time to quiet the mind, we make room for divine grace to speak. We may not always hear an overpowering declaration, and the skies might not split with thunderous revelation. Instead, the divine often works through subtle nudges, moments of clarity, and gentle revelations that resonate deep within our hearts. Amid the commotion of our daily routines, we must strive to recognize God's patient call. As Scripture encourages us in Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." The Creator's gentle reminder here is that when the world's noise becomes overwhelming, when responsibilities and burdens threaten to eclipse our sense of peace, there is still a calm harbor awaiting us within. It is in that silence that we can, without distraction or fear, listen to the divine counsel that guides us toward our highest good. With every breath, God's voice persists, beckoning us to remain steadfast in faith and to trust in divine companionship. We sometimes stumble through life's storms, struggling to keep our heads above the roaring waves of confusion, heartbreak, or despair. It is in these times of vulnerability that God's words become a balm for our wounded spirits. As Isaiah 41:10 assures us, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This tender promise reassures us that, regardless of our tribulations, there is a guiding hand ready to lift us when we falter, and a comforting presence devoted to holding us close when we feel forsaken. All we need to do is reach out in faith, remain patient, and surrender to the abiding love that anchors us through every trial. The messages God gives us often manifest through everyday interactions. They do not always arrive cloaked in flashes of lightning or accompanied by choirs of angels. Instead, they frequently take shape in small blessings and simple acts of kindness. They come through a friend's supportive words, through the comforting presence of a stranger who offers help, or in the unspoken sense of peace we feel when we are making a decision guided by love. In these gentle encounters, God's voice becomes tangible, urging us to treat others with compassion, empathy, and care, just as we ourselves yearn to be treated. When we commit to prayer, meditation, or simply quiet reflection, we align our hearts with God's divine will. We become more sensitive to subtle guidance and more willing to carry out acts of goodness without seeking recognition or reward. Through this alignment, we come to realize that the simplest gestures, be they words of encouragement, a warm embrace, or a silent prayer, can help to melt away fear and loneliness in someone else's life. We become instruments of divine grace, gentle messengers who transmit hope into the spaces that need it most. Sometimes God's message is a call to action that compels us to serve as vessels of transformation in a world rife with conflict, suffering, and injustice. The scripture in Amos 5:24 exhorts us to let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. We are not merely passive observers of this divine mandate. Rather, we are entrusted with the power and responsibility to champion justice, advocate for the oppressed, and care for the marginalized. By answering this call, we help cultivate a spirit of unity and compassion that nurtures both individual hearts and communities at large. At other times, God's guidance is quieter, reminding us of the importance of nurturing relationships and extending love to those who feel abandoned or isolated. A supportive hand offered to someone who is hurting can serve as a potent reminder of God's presence in their life. A small gesture, a heartfelt message, a kind word, a comforting hug can ripple outward, inspiring others to share love in return. By honoring these gentle promptings, we invite the divine into our relationships, families, and communities, creating an environment in which compassion thrives. Throughout history, various spiritual leaders and prophets, Moses, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, and many others, have conveyed messages of divine origin. Their teachings resonate in the core of our collective consciousness, transcending differences in culture, language, and time. Although each spiritual tradition may present a unique perspective, these sacred messages affirm one central truth: that God is eternally present, passionately caring for creation, and guiding us toward wholeness. In our fast-paced modern world, these ancient insights still ring true, as relevant today as they were centuries ago. We only need to cultivate moments of silence and intentionally listen. When we carve out quiet time in the midst of the hustle and bustle, we open ourselves to the possibility of greater wisdom. Whether through traditional prayer, structured meditation, or mindful walks in nature, we create space for the divine to speak clearly into our lives. The breakthroughs we experience are not the product of our efforts alone, but the result of our cooperation with the eternal love that seeks to awaken us to deeper truths. Each whisper invites us to grow in humility, to share our blessings, and to extend forgiveness and kindness whenever the opportunity arises. As God's children, we may also discover that the divine operates through the kindness and compassion of those around us. A neighbor's unexpected assistance, a friend's untiring support, or a stranger's warm smile may be the means by which God reminds us that we are loved. In turn, we too can become vessels of this mercy, allowing God's Spirit to flow through our words and deeds. The result is a chain reaction of goodness. Every time kindness is extended, we help sustain the divine voice in the world. Each act of empathy honors the Creator who fashioned us with hearts capable of immense love. Let us be vigilant in noticing these messages, for they often appear in the most ordinary of moments. It could be a gentle nudge to pick up the phone and reach out to someone who has been on our mind. Perhaps there is a person in our life waiting anxiously for our call, longing to hear a friendly voice of encouragement. Our willingness to connect can fill someone with hope, reminding them that they are not forgotten or alone. By acting on these subtle invitations, we ensure that God's grace finds its way into every corner of human experience. God is saying to you today, be still and listen to the whispers of your heart. Know that I am always with you, walking beside you through each triumph and trial. Embrace the messages I send, for they are imbued with love and designed to guide your steps toward greater purpose. Seek out every chance to be an instrument of kindness and mercy, because you may one day answer someone else's silent prayer. That call you have been debating whether to make. Do not let the opportunity slip away. Extend your love, share a comforting word, and watch how profoundly a single gesture can transform another's life. We are each invited to play our part in this grand tapestry of grace. Even small acts of service can radiate outward, igniting hope in the hearts of those who need it most. By setting aside judgment, we leave room for empathy. By choosing forgiveness, we allow love to flourish. In this ever-changing world, we have the sacred privilege of being God's hands and feet, reflecting divine compassion in all that we do. Step away from the endless screens. Cherish time spent with elders whose wisdom has been polished by experience, and value simplicity in daily life. Through such conscious choices, we position ourselves to hear God's guiding voice more clearly, noticing the subtle miracles that bloom in ordinary places. Take hold of these moments. Allow them to deepen your faith and inspire your service. Your life, as well as the lives of those around you, will be enriched by this shared connection and sense of purpose. If you are ready to heed the call and accept the gentle invitations that God places before you, affirm it now. Type, "I am ready for the call," and claim this promise today. Believe that when you commit to kindness, compassion, and understanding, divine grace will multiply and extend far beyond what you can imagine. You will become a bearer of hope, a messenger of love, and a testament to the abundant goodness that dwells in the heart of God, now and forever.